Good morning, my name is Matthew Hugo from Weather Commerce, and this is this morning's weather brief on Tuesday the 12th of July. Today's weather brief will cover a summary on the West European 5-day average temperatures, the UK, Europe, Scandinavian precipitation, and finally global weather alerts. We will start by taking a summarised look at the mean surface temperature across Europe. And between days 11 and 15 there has been generally no significant changes from previous days, and that is for the majority of Europe to have temperatures either near or trending slightly below climate averages by generally between 1 and 3 degrees, though perhaps as much as 4 degrees below average across some eastern areas of Europe, including Switzerland, Germany and Austria for example. The 6 to 10 day period in particular is forecast to be particularly cool across the majority of Europe. As you can see, the majority, if not all, of the available forecast models have temperatures trending generally below climate averages, some as much as 4 or perhaps even 5 degrees in some instances. Finally, over the next 2 to 5 days, again the majority, or if not all, of the available forecast models maintain temperatures to be generally trending below climate averages across the majority of Europe, and particularly across some central and also northern areas of Europe in particular. We're now taking a look at the United Kingdom in some closer detail. And generally there has been no significant changes from the last few days, and as you can see, between days 11 and 15, as highlighted by the red circle, the majority, if not all, of the available forecast models maintain temperatures to be generally below climate averages. The majority of the forecast models have temperatures at least 1 to 3 degrees below a climate mean of around 17 degrees Celsius. One of the more recent GFS deterministic runs does take temperatures to 1 degree above climate averages by the 24th and 25th of July, but this is a distinct model outlier and should be ignored. Model agreement and consistency remains very good between days 6 and 10 as we move beyond the weekend of the 16th and 17th of July, with all of the available forecast models signalling temperatures to be at least 2 to 4 degrees below climate norms. This is a consistent signal in association with predominantly cool and unsettled conditions, and as a result confidence levels are medium to high to suggest that temperatures will be at least 2 to 4 degrees below climate norms between days 6 and 10 across the UK. The following weather chart for Sunday the 17th of July helps to illustrate why temperatures are likely to be so significantly below climate averages, particularly in and around days 6 and 10. An area of low pressure just to the north or northeast of the UK is forecast to produce a predominantly cool and unsettled west or northwesterly air mass across the majority of the United Kingdom, and as a result quite high and significant misery factors are also forecast across most areas. And finally, within the short term, over the next 2 to 5 days, confidence levels are high for temperatures to generally be around 2 or 3 degrees below a climate mean of around 17 degrees Celsius. And now taking a look at the expected temperature trends across Europe in some closer detail. And between days 11 and 15 there has been no significant changes from previous days, and this is in association with a relatively static synoptic pattern which is forecast to develop across Europe, in association with high pressure to the west and southwest of Europe and low pressure to the north, producing a relatively cool and unsettled west or northwesterly air mass across many areas. Confidence levels are medium or perhaps medium to high to suggest that temperatures will be either near or likely trending 1 to 3 degrees below climate norms across the majority of Europe. The latest Switzerland model comparison graph helps to illustrate this situation, and as you can see within the highlighted red circle covering days 11 to 15, all of the available forecast models have temperatures at least 2 to 4 degrees below a climate mean of around 19 degrees Celsius. Some model divergence is evident, with some of the GFS ensemble members having temperatures at least 5 or 6 degrees below climate averages, yet in contrast some of the EC ensemble runs have temperatures generally 2 or 3 degrees below norm. Despite this divergence, confidence levels are medium or perhaps medium to high to suggest that temperatures will be at least 2 to 4 degrees below climate averages across the majority of Europe between days 11 and 15. Between days 6 and 10, if anything, the latest forecast models have temperatures perhaps a degree or two cooler than previous days. The majority, if not all, of the available forecast models on the latest West European map view are coloured blue, which signals temperatures to be at least 2 to 4 degrees below climate norms, but some forecast models have had temperatures at least 5 or perhaps even 6 degrees below climate averages, as a particularly cool spell of weather is forecast to dominate across many areas. The latest Germany model comparison graph helps to illustrate the situation very well, and as you can see within the highlighted red circle, all of the available forecast models have temperatures at least 3 to 5 degrees below a climate mean of around 20 degrees Celsius. Currently, mean surface temperatures during and beyond the weekend of the 16th and 17th of July are forecast to only be around 14 or 15 degrees, which is significantly lower than what should be expected at this time of year. And finally, within the short term, over the next 2 to 5 days, the majority, if not all, of the available forecast models maintain this trend of temperatures being either near or trending slightly below climate averages across the majority of Europe, as rather cool conditions dominate across most areas. And now taking a look at the expected precipitation across Scandinavia over the next 7 to 14 days. Over the next 7 to 10 days, there is a signal for many areas of Norway, southern regions of Sweden, and also the majority of Finland to have precipitation totals at least 80 to 100 millimetres. This is comfortably 200 to 300% of normal. There is, however, some model divergence with regards to which specific areas of Scandinavia are likely to experience the highest precipitation totals. Within the long term, as we move towards and beyond the 19th and 20th of July, there is a signal that the majority of Norway and also northern regions of Sweden in particular are likely to have above average precipitation totals with perhaps in excess of 100 to 125 millimetres, yet southern regions of Sweden and also the majority of Finland is forecast to be drier with precipitation totals either near or trending slightly below climate norms. And now taking a look at global weather alerts which highlight significant deviations from normal. There's a continued signal from previous days and the end of last week for many southern areas of Brazil to have precipitation totals generally above or potentially well above climate averages over the next 7 to 14 days. Precipitation totals in excess of 125 to 150 millimetres of rainfall is possible, which is at least 300 to 400% of normal totals. Finally, an interesting signal is evident within the latest forecast models over the next 7 to 10 days from many areas of China. Central and northern regions are continued to forecast to have temperatures at least 6 to 8 degrees above climate averages, with mean surface temperatures ranging between 30 and 35 degrees Celsius. In comparison, many southern and particularly southeastern areas of the country are likely to experience temperatures below climate averages by as much as 6 to 8 degrees. Thank you for listening to today's weather brief. Goodbye.